Hello, welcome to Coaching Think Talk. I am Coach Marife Garfin from Life Coach Philippines, and this is Coaching for Overcoming. This coaching conversation is for individuals, especially mothers, who are facing challenges in life of all forms that is threatening their mental health, but are desiring to overcome and come out a better version of themselves. And my mission is to empower every mother in every family to take a stand on mental health for her and her children. I am a Master Builder Apprentice to Master Coach A's Apprenticeship Builder Apprenticeship Program, and I am also a scholar to Master Coach A Six Steps to a Six-Figure Public Speaking Career. By background, I am a nurse by profession with 22 hospital years experience, and um, and I am a wife. I am a mother of three, and I'm also an entrepreneur. And I am the owner of Health and Wellness Coaching Center here in Tacloban City. And the center aims to facilitate overcoming challenges from weight loss to fitness and for gaining clarity of the future through self-discovery and mental health. So that's what I do. And thank you for joining me this live today. And please leave your digital footprint by letting us know where you're coming from. And please do tag a friend and circulate this video to help us reach more individuals who might be in need and of what I'll be sharing with you this session. You may also give a shout out to people you want to greet and reach out with some inspiring messages. So if you're watching this on a replay, please do comment hashtag replay. I am streaming via FB page of Life Coach Philippines and YouTube channel Coach AI Connect. And if you are new to our platform, please like, follow, and subscribe. So good afternoon, everyone. And I would like to say wonderful good afternoon to my fellow MBAs and and my fellow tribe mates. So they're all here. Coach Nordelin, I'm seeing my AP partner, my AP Phoebe, Coach Phoebe, and Coach Maureen. So Coach Glacy. So good afternoon, everyone. And I would like to share to you the topic on overcoming challenges and mindset. And the first question that I would like to ask you this afternoon. So, if you see me like looking at this at my right side and maybe left side to you, because it's my Christmas is on the other side. So bear with me. So the question that I would want to ask you is, what picture do you have of overcoming? What picture do you have of overcoming? If okay, paano nga ba? How do you, how would you, if you're looking at a picture, what would the picture look like of when you think of and when you talk of overcome? So if you Google and if you look for the images of the word overcoming, this picture will come out. Okay. So this is the picture that you will be seeing. Okay. So you see there a person jumping from a cliff, from one cliff to the other. You would see two people, probably this is in a military training that is trying to get up the ladder. If this is a ladder or an obstacle, something for training. And you would also see someone who is putting up a cane. So I would, in my own mind, I would see the picture of someone who has been using the cane and is now able to walk on his own even without the cane. Okay, so these are the pictures that will come out, and I'm very sure there are quite a few pictures that you have in your mind as well, and you do make a comment also in the comment in the our live. You just place in your comment and what is the picture of overcoming for you. Okay, so as as the picture depicted to you, overcoming is defined as by Merriam-Webster is to get the better of, surmount, to gain the superiority, win or triumph, prevail, overmatch, overbear, subdue. Okay? So yun yung kanyang definition. Now, this word was used in the 12th century from the Old English offer kuman, or offer meaning over, and kuman, which means come. Okay, so it's dumating at na-hurdle mo at na-overcome. Okay? So yun yung kanyang definition ng overcoming. This is to probably you'll have another definition, but this is so that we can have a common ground in understanding when I talk about overcoming. Okay, so when you talk about overcoming, you will come up with another word. Okay, you will think of another word, and this is challenges. Okay, so this is challenges. And it is defined again by Miriam. So marami po siyang definition, and challenges could be like there's a challenge for you to answer back. There are like in a challenge like in sports. But for this afternoon, I took this definition of to arouse or stimulate, especially by presenting with difficulty. To arouse or stimulate, especially by presenting with difficulty. Ibig sabihin po, from the routine that's happening, from the comfort or from the regular thing that's been happening, there was a difficulty that came in which stimulated you to have a different action or a different perspective, a different emotion. Okay, so that's challenges. So pag napag-usapan yung overcoming, papasok talaga yung challenges. Okay, so what are the top 5 life challenges? According to the survey, according to the surveys, these are the top 5 life challenges. Of course, there are a lot of challenges. There are social challenges, there is climate challenges. So marami po itong challenges. But for this afternoon, we're going to talk about the top 5 life challenges. And what are these? These are failures. So when you talk about failures, these are failure in marriage, failure in any kind of relationship, failure in getting a goal, failure in the academe. So marami po siya. So, and then of course there's job loss, and this is very familiar. We're very familiar with this right now because due to the pandemic, a lot of maraming retrenchment na nangyari because there's not, like for example in a restaurant, hindi marami yung pumupunta. So you don't need a lot of waiters, you don't need a lot of people who will serve. So there were kind of a retrenchment. Another challenge is getting older. Why is it a challenge getting older? Because getting older will require you to, especially if you're living abroad and you're not with a family, to be on your own. To be on your own. At living distantly with a family member. So malayo ka. So you're on your own, and there's a lot of things that's going on. You're limited in your actions. You're limited in your movement. So challenge din siya. Paano mag-shift? Because especially if you're one person who is very active, and then now you're getting already like some pains in your back, some pains in your knees. So ito yung mangyayari. You'll have difficulty talaga. So this is a challenge also. Next is getting sick or injured. And I don't know with you, I've worked in the hospital, I've cared for patients. As I said, I've been in the hospital work for 22 years. I'm familiar with things that's being done, basically for like illness management. I do that, I can help with that, I understand that. But I am one person who does not want to get sick or get injured. Bakit? Because a lot of the things that you want to do, you can't do when you're sick. And this is one thing that is a big challenge for people, especially those who still are dreaming big, who are very active. So this is one of life challenges, getting sick or injured. To add on the financial difficulty that will come. Next is death of a loved one. I think this is the worst of the life challenges, death of a loved one. And I can't even imagine the pain that the person will go through with death of a loved one. Okay, so these are the top five life challenges that is quite inevitable. That is really part of the cycle of life that we all will be facing in one way or the other. Okay, so I would like to share to you some stories and lessons of overcoming, and I chose four people from the Bible. I'm not going to talk to you about religion, but these are very inspiring and there's lessons that they have given as I read through each of their stories. No? So these are stories and lessons of overcoming which I got from these four people. Okay, of course, there's plenty, but I just simply chose them. And I know you know the story of Job. Imagine everything was taken from him. He got sick, he lost his family, he lost everything, his wealth and everything. And he was being treated by people. And there were questions about his faith. And there were questions of how he was faithful with God. But Job embraced the pain. So this is one lesson in overcoming. There is a point wherein one must embrace the pain. And Job asked God, so he was not silent. He was not like sulking in the side. He really asked God, God, what is happening? Is there something that I do? Was there something that I have committed? So nagtanong siya. And this is very important for us to be able to express. So Job here embraced the pain and asked God. Okay. The next is King David. King David kept his values during the time of sa panahon that he was on the process of really grappling with what is happening. You have to remember, if you're familiar with the story of King David, King Saul got jealous with him. Okay, so King Saul got jealous with him, and so King Saul was pursuing him to kill him. But there was a story there was a story that uh, King Saul was in the cave and David was had an opportunity to kill him because he was on his own. I think nagwiwiwi siya doon sa cave and then David was there. And he had the opportunity to kill King Saul. But at this time, in the process of him in these challenges, King David kept his values. He believed that it is God who will take care of King Saul. So he kept his character, his values, and stood by it and never touched Saul, King Saul. So David, during the time of overcoming, he kept his values. And second, he sang praise to God. He gave thanks. He gave thanks to God. He sang praises to God. So nagpasalamat pa rin siya kahit in the midst of challenges. Okay? Next is Jeremiah. And if you're familiar, if you're familiar, Jeremiah is known as the weeping prophet. Weeping prophet. Bakit? Kasi alam niyang ipapanish ang Israel because they had so many gods. They were really not listening to the call of the many prophets that has been sent to God to warn them to change their ways. So umiyak na talaga si Jeremiah. And during this time, si Jeremiah was captured also by King Nebuchadnezzar. Pero anong sinabi ni Jeremiah? He trusted God to overcome. Sabi niya, he will overcome. And what happened? He experienced that miracle because King Nebuchadnezzar said, do not touch him and listen to what he says. So he was given that favor. So he trusts God that everything will soon come to pass. The next is Peter. And you're familiar with Peter. And Peter is always, we always like, oh, bakit siya nag-deny? You know the story of Peter who denied Christ 3 times. And but if you're familiar with the story, if you can picture that movie where you watch Peter denying, on the first time that there was tumilaok yung manok, okay? Peter realized that the second and the third, and he realized that. And he reflected. He reflected on what happened. And what the next thing was, masakit yun. To realize nung pumasok sa isip na yung mga sinabi ni Christ na, before the cock crows, you will deny me 3 times. And it was really painful for Peter, right? It was really painful for Peter. Hi, Coach Nilo. Hi, Coach Candy. Hi, Coach Joyce. Thank you for joining me. So, Peter, in spite of the pain, forgave himself. He forgave himself. And what happened? Peter reached out for help. So kung makikita nyo yung story doon, if you're going to read through, Peter was with the disciples. So pumunta siya doon. So he reached out for help. He knew he can do it on his own. So he looked for an ecology where he will be nurtured. He will be able to yung makapag-recalibrate at start anew. So Peter was with the disciples. And alam niyo naman sa story, the we just had the Lenten season, no? And we know that in the ascension, after the 40 days, okay, of ascension, Peter was still there with the disciples. And he is one, okay, of those who really spread out the gospels. Talagang massive yung ginawa ni Peter. So, nakita nyo these are the stories and lessons na ginawa ng mga taong ito. And these are not myths. Of course, if you look into the Bible, these are history. These names appears in the Bible, and this is history. And if you have a chance to go to Rome, no, not Rome. If you go to Israel, sorry, if you go to Israel, you will see the different places which these stories have occurred. Okay, so these are stories that you will get lessons of overcoming. Okay, so as I said, nakita po ninyo yung stories no nila Peter of the different disciples. No? And I'm pretty sure you have also your own stories. Okay, so let me share to you the mindset, 7 mindsets to embrace when you need to overcome something. Okay, so these are mindset that you need to embrace when you are faced with a challenge and you need to overcome. And I'm pretty sure you have plenty of stories of overcoming. Okay, so number 1 is it is time to grow. It is time to grow. So I do remember Master Coach A telling us in the class when we are overwhelmed, when we feel that we can't take it anymore, we feel like we're stretching. Well, it's the time to really look into ourselves and say that we need to do something because we are growing. So it's time to grow. Bagong challenge siya. It's leveling you up so that you become more solid, more stronger as a person. The next is I seek clarity. This is a statement. This is a mindset that you're going to be telling yourself. I seek clarity. So pwede niyo pong, what is it that I needed to understand about this challenge that I'm facing? The third is, this is not the whole of me. This is not the whole of me. I do remember, no, I believe that there are a lot of people when they lose their job, okay, many of them suffer insecurities, many of them suffer anger, many suffer from depression because they feel like the whole world has crumbled. Nawala na po sila ng buhay. But we need to remember when there is a setback. I think Master Coach Jasmine has mentioned this sa kanyang kapihan last Sunday. When there's a setback, there's something that happened that challenge your emotion, your mental health. Okay, we need to understand that this is not the whole of us. This is hindi ito like when this challenge comes, wala na tayo because this is just part. This is just part of us. Okay, so this is the mindset that we need to understand. Part lang po ito ng buhay. Hindi ito ang buhay. Okay? Next is, I will be productive. I will be productive. So this is the time wherein you need to put some focus into something so that you will be revitalized and you will see that you're still capable. Because during overcoming, there's a lot of insecurities, there's a lot of questions to our capability. But when you see that you're productive, when you see results because you did something, so this will lift your spirit up and you get to see who you are. Okay? Then fifth, I am worthy of help. I am worthy of help. I read kanina I've read in Facebook earlier that there are people who are used to helping other people, but they are not capable of asking help for themselves. Diba? Sanay na sanay tayo dyan. So I am a coordinator for a mission partner here in Tacloban City. And a lot of times I would like to call on other people to help out, send a student to school because walang capability yung parents to send to school. But I could never tell people, you help me also. So it's one thing that we need to practice. Okay? It's one thing that we need to practice. But we need to remember that we are worthy of help. We are worthy of help. As we also are people who are also serving other people. I'm not saying that you serve because you will be needing help. But what I'm trying to say is, as you give wholeheartedly to help other people, try also to value yourself to receive also the same help. Okay? Next is, I will treasure me. Kailangan i-treasure ka. Bakit? Kasi marami ka pang matutulungan. Okay? So you treasure, you value yourself. What I'm trying to say here is, value yourself because you have a gift. The world still needs that gift. So you need to value yourself so that you can lift your spirit up and that you learn. Okay? You learn and you'll never be discouraged because alam mo na meron pang mga tao na kailangan ka. Okay? Then seventh mindset is, this will be over soon. This will be over soon. Have you ever experienced that? Yung nandun ka sa incident na yon wherein there's a mountain of challenges and you feel like you feel defeated, you feel overwhelmed. Okay? Naalala niyo yon, di ba? You have that picture in your mind. Okay? Pero, fast forward, okay? So, isipin mo ano yung nangyari last time, like you feel like, I'm at a losing end, hindi ko na to kaya. And then, try to be here at the present now. Di ba, tinitingnan mo na lang yung nakaraan na, it happened to me before. And wala na yung pain. Wala na yung regret. Di ba? Because that's the cycle of life. Dadaanan po talaga natin yan because it has lessons to teach us. But what I'm trying to say, don't give up. Because at the time, when you're about to give up, yun na pala yung panahon na matatapos na yun. I remember my Bible study teacher, a Korean, and she's a Korean, and she always tells us that someday, one day, she would always say this, someday, one day, we're going to look back and say, that happened to me before. So this will be over soon. So these are the 7 mindsets that can help us, that we can embrace when we are in the period of challenges and we need to really go into the phase of overcoming. So this saying, hindi naman to siya saying, but something that I read, it's a quote that I read in Facebook. So ito yung quote, sabi niya, challenges, this is from Joshua Marine. Challenges are what make life interesting. Challenges are what make life interesting. Overcoming them is what makes life meaningful. Okay. Nagets niyo yun? Challenges are what make life interesting. Overcoming them is what makes life meaningful. Pero pag nandun ka no, so when you're there in the challenge, it's feel like, hindi naman ito interesting. But if you kind of look back no, on the time when you are facing a big challenge in your life, ano kaya yung buhay mo if you look back? Kung on a plateau ka lang, like you eat, you go to work, uwi ka ng bahay, you eat, you go to work, uwi ka ng bahay. It's like nothing's happening. It's like every day you go into the motion. So there's nothing that spiced up. So that's why I believe Joshua was able to say this, that challenges are what makes life interesting and overcoming them is what makes life meaningful. Kasi dyan po napupunta dyan nakukuha natin yung lessons. And this is where we got to discover who we are. Okay? So, what are the benefits of overcoming? Ano nga ba? Bakit kailangan? Kailangan po nating malaman yung benefits of overcoming so that we will look forward. We will look forward to the time when we have passed the challenge already. And what are the benefits? Bakit niya sinabi, why did Mr. Joshua Marine said that it makes life meaningful? Because of these benefits. Okay? What are these benefits? Number 1 is you gain mindfulness. You gain mindfulness. And when you talk about mindfulness, ibig pong sabihin dito, you become conscious, you become aware of what is happening around you. You put yourself into a period, or you put yourself into intentional living. Ito, naalala ko si Coach Nord sa intentional living. Okay? So, you become intentional. You look at all things, like see them in their full, in meaning, with meaning, see them with purpose. So, you gain mindfulness because we know that overcoming will teach you, will put you and your brain into a mode of alertness. Okay. So, alam mo, meron tayo yan kasi we're learning, we get the lesson. So, the tendency is for us to really, ayoko nang maulit yon. Nandyan yan sa subconscious mo, ayoko nang maulit yon. So, you become mindful. The second is you become better in what you do. You become better in what you do. Kasi may lessons ka nang nakuha doon sa challenges na pinagdaanan mo. So, you try to do things better this time. So, for mothers, no, when we realize that we made mistake, nagalit tayo without us really like finding out ano ba talagang tunay nang nangyari, but because you came home and you're tired and you blurted out something to your kids and you realize mali pala yung naisip, mali pala, hindi sila nang hugas ng plato, yun pala there were a lot of things that is happening before you came in and nakita mo lang yung maduming plato. And so you get angry. But because natutunan mo na mali yon, you become better. So the next time around, you try to like breathe muna bago mo sabihin. So there's already, sabi ko nga kanina, mindfulness. And third is you become more confident because you have tested your strength. You knew, you have discovered na you're capable of it. And number 4, you develop inner strength. Inner strength. And this is one thing that I've realized now, during the Typhoon Yolanda in Tacloban in 2013, I've seen a lot of people who went into really like frantic mode, talaga umalis ng Tacloban and all those things. But for me, yung isang natutunan ko doon sa Typhoon Yolanda is that I can survive basta buhay ako. So there is that capability in you. Mayroon kang, it is built in you to really survive. Basta hindi mo lang kitilin yon. Basta hindi mo lang sabihin, wala na talaga. If you continue living and you continue fighting for yourself, then you're gonna make it. You're going to survive because we are built to survive. I remember watching a documentary of the Iceman. Nakalimutan ko kung saang place siya. But he is the person who was able to test that he can stand the cold even only in his shorts, without on his shoes, on his shorts. In the iciest cold place, doon po siya talagang naglublob siya doon sa, like it's the coldest dito nga aircon, mainit na nalalamigan na ako, no? But doon talagang nilublob niya, tinest niya yung sarili niya, and walang frostbite doon sa kanyang leg, and he was really able to overcome. And he concluded in that documentary that the mind is powerful. The mind is powerful to will the body to stay strong amidst the challenge. So, ganon din po tayo. Maybe we will not just be on the ice, but we are capable. We are created by God to really be capable to overcome so long as we do not give up. Because and that challenges that is given with you, that you have experienced, that develops your inner strength. That develops your inner strength. And of course, it sharpens your mind, of course. So, that is the things that the benefits of overcoming that you will reap in every challenges that you're able to go through. Okay, so what are the 4 steps to jumpstart overcoming? So meron tayong 4 na steps to jumpstart overcoming. Okay, so one of this is, number 1 is to assess. A lot of times, no, when you talk, I say about assess is breathe. Yung una is breathe. Let it sink in. Ano bang nangyari? Why is this what happened? Why is it? there is a need for us to breathe because a lot of times when we are faced with challenges, ang nangyayari po, nagpapanik po tayo. We go into a panic mode and then na-overwhelm na yung brain natin. And of course, when our brain is overwhelmed, para siyang motor, nagsa-stop siya, pati yung katawan natin po ay nagsa-stop na rin. And we kind of believe na we're feel defeated. Okay? So, it's important to breathe. Hinga muna. Pwedeng maupo. Hinga ng malalim. Kaya yun, I appreciate men. I appreciate men, men basically, yung mga lalaki, when they have troubles. I remember my husband when we are in a dialogue, severe dialogue, okay? Aalis siya ng bahay. Pupunta muna siya sa tabing dagat, debrief in muna siya. And that is one thing that is very important, no? Na we have to breathe in. Lagyan muna natin ng oxygen yung ating mind, yung ating katawan para it functions well. Oxygen distribute the blood distribute, oxygen to the different parts of the body. And when you breathe in, you are actually putting in nutrition, you're allowing your cells, your brain cells to receive the oxygen and the nutrition that it needs. So nagkakaroon ng parang nare-relax yung ating brain. And when you breathe in, you at least gain clarity. And you ask the question, what brought this challenge? Bakit nga ba may challenge akong ganito? Okay, so you gain clarity. I remember if you try to imagine, if you put yung clay or a clay, sand, or dust, paano ba niyo sabihin? And then you mix it with water in a pail, di ba? Talagang the color of the water will really be parang kulay lupa siya, di ba? You try to imagine it, parang kulay lupa. And when we are in a challenge, ganun po yung nangyayari. The water is your life and the soil is the challenge that came into your life. So parang ginawa niyang cloudy. Okay? So it becomes murky. Okay? It becomes dark. But when you gain clarity, when you assess, when you breathe in, okay, you try to notice after a minute or two, the soil will go deep into the bottom of the pail. Pupunta siya sa ilalim ng tubig. And once more, magiging clear yung nasa taas, yung water. Okay? So, when that is one way of yun po yung example na binibigay ko sa inyo na when you give yourself time, when you give yourself the time to assess and to breathe, okay, magkakaroon ka, yung challenge na yon, why it came, the challenge that you need to overcome, magsisink in siya, mabubuo siya, and you'll get a better picture of it. And then your brain will be able to think or come up with a rationale or a reason, ito yung nangyayari kasi ganito. Because if you do not assess, you go into a frantic mode, the more that's going to be blurry. Okay? So assess is the first step. The second is visualize. Okay? So, this is what happened. Imagine the ending of the challenge. So if you have overcome, what picture do you have of you when all things are over? Do you picture yourself na yung duguan na nakahandusay? Do you picture yourself like with all smiles, so beautifully, you're just going on with life? So you have to visualize. Ano ba yung gusto kong mangyari after this challenge? Okay? So, and then number 3 is, how are you going to get the vision you have set for yourself? So you need number 3, which is to plan. Okay? Paano ko siya maharap? For entrepreneurs nowadays, okay, paano ko mababayaran yung renta? What are the steps that I'm going to make? Kasi kulang ngayon ng customers. For a mom like me, who is so busy with a lot of things, how do I get to spend? I want to see myself connecting with my kids. So how do I make sure, what are the necessary steps that I'm going to make so that I'll be able to connect with them? So you go into a mode of planning. And number 4, you need to do the action. You have to commit to the necessary steps. Kasi po, hindi mo ma-overcome if you're going not to do it. If you're not going to take the plan and do something with it. Take the necessary step, so that your vision will come to pass, then wala po talagang mangyayari. So you'll not be able to overcome. We have to remember that you are the captain of your life and you are the prime mover of your life. So if you don't move, nothing else will move. A lot of times I would remember yung aking the people who comes to me for weight loss management. Minsan sabi ko sa kanila, alam niyo po, kung pwede ko lang, ako na lang ang kumain para sa inyo, ako na lang ang mag-exercise para sa inyo, gagawin ko yun. But I can't. So you have to make a decision to really step out and say, I will beat this challenge. I will take this head on. Dagat, ito po I will survive this and I will work on this. Okay? So that's the fourth step to jumpstart overcoming. So ano na po yung naisip ninyo na possible na gawin ninyo? Okay? So pwede nyo pong pag-isipan yon, pag-nilayan nyo po, try to think of it and try to apply it. Okay? How would it be if I do all this steps? According to Martin Luther King Jr., he said the ultimate measure of a man is not where he stands in moments of comfort and convenience, but when he stands in time of challenges. So dito po kasi nasusubukan who you are, how strong you are, how deep are your values in times of challenges. Pag wala po yung challenge, you will never really know how strong you are because you're not going to be able to use that capability that you have in you. Hindi nyo po magagamit. Kaya hindi nyo malalaman na meron ka po noon. Okay? So that's what Martin Luther King. And so it's for me, just simply remember, you are built to overcome. And you have the capability built in you to survive. So whatever challenge that you have in your life, remember that you will overcome. You will overcome. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you sa mga katribo ko na nagsusupport sa akin. So as I end this conversation, let me invite you to be part of what we are doing. Okay. What we are doing as an organization of professional certified life coaches. Do join us for another coaching conversation later with Coach Maureen for coaching for single living. Mga singles, calling all the singles, no? This is this 4 p.m. coaching for single living. And I would like to invite you also to Coach A's co-actively co-create life coach certification program. This is a 21-day learning journey with daily lessons, 3-day live coaching bootcamp with senior coaches, 1 month of free coaching membership in Coach A's coaching upskill blueprint, and free membership po ito, and also a website inclusion and professional credentials, and certificate of completion with online footprints. Ang daming offering po. It's so excited. That's why I'm part of this one. I will not miss this. Okay. So the first batch is happening this coming April 10, 17, and 24. So if you're interested, so please connect with Coach Rizel through 0917-586-1661. And let me also invite you, if you're a mom and you want to journey with me to standing for mental health for our children, for us and our children, do hop into my nth attempt in motherhood. I am the creator and the founder of this coaching community, my nth attempt in motherhood. You would see there, you take a picture of the link, you just, use the link and hop into my community. Let us journey together. Let us be empowered because we are the moms and we're built in to overcome. We are. That's the number one thing that I know. I'm pretty sure. We are built in to overcome. We have many challenges as a mother because motherhood is a calling, motherhood is a stewardship, and so we need each other. So let's journey together into being empowered so that we can stand for ourselves and for our children. So do hop in, join me in this coaching community. So Once again, I would like to say thank you to all of you. Once again, this is Coach Marife Garfin from Life Coach Philippines for Coaching Think Talk. Coaches like us think and talk like this. This is us in the Philippines. Love, bomb, boom. Thank you very much. See you again.